looking for some sniffs on a Friday? Something tells me it's you. And oh, I see you back there. You want some early sniffs? Well, you know with me, you always get those sniffs early. That always wasn't the case. Last year, it could be 2 p.m., and I had people messaging me, I got the itch, man. I need some sniffs. So if nothing else, I'm pretty proud of myself. That's right. Patting myself on the back that every single day I've been able to get these to you. I mean, you don't even want to know what time it is sometimes when I'm recording these. You know the early bird who catches the worm? I'm up way before him getting these out to you, and it's a good thing because we got an early game on this Friday. We had an early game on Thursday. I didn't give anything out on that game, but I'm happy that it played out the way it did because it would have proven a lot of my points that I have about these European games. And number one, there's always a higher % chance of ruckus. Lately, I've been telling you guys, if you want to take your wacky over same game parlays, choose environments that are well suited for ruckus. You want to know what's well suited for ruckus? When the NHL takes its game in Europe and they're trying to appeal to the fans over there, and refs are dishing out power plays. You got the Detroit Red Wings coming back from a 4-0 deficit. How many times does that happen in the middle of Nashville? Not often, but in these wacky games overseas, it seems to be way more oriented towards these ruckus environments than a 2-1 game. And last year, if you guys remember, when it came to those games in Finland, we looked through the lineups and tried to find any Finn we could to take the over on their player props. Just put yourself in their position. You're going back to someone's home country. You know you're going to try to feed them. You know every time it's a 2-on-1 like you saw yesterday. Well, what happened to that? If that game's in Pittsburgh, you know that pass is being dished over to Dylan Larkin, but instead it wasn't, and the Swede recorded a point on his own home ice. So I'll be looking for Swedes today in that game, and we have a premier Swede on the Toronto Maple Leafs who will be singling out. But you know, one thing I also wanted to bring up yesterday, I guess I'll take some blame for this, but when these go on, I told you I record these guys in the wee hours of the morning. So I'll watch a game and then I'll check the stats just to make sure I got everything in line, and then I'll come talk to you guys the next day. Well, it was brought to my attention by none other than Stevie Bong Rips that the Connor McDavid pick from the night before was not over 3.5. After the game, the statistician, one of the all-time funny jobs there is out there, the random NHL statistician decided at 2 a.m, now we're going to remove a shot from Connor McDavid. I feel like that guy is texting the girl from Starbucks and someone was like, was that a shot? And he goes, no, that wasn't a shot. And they took one away. So sorry about that. I didn't know until Bong Rips let me know we had a stat change. One of the all-time funny jobs up there, like right up there with the guy who controls the buzzer on the Family Feud, you know, like survey says. Anyway, we got some Friday games here to look at, and we're going to start with that game going on over in Sweden. Now, typically, something that I've told you is when you got a team playing back-to-back nights, I'm going to bet against them on that second night. It's a little bit different here. You got all these teams going over there to Sweden. I weirdly think that Detroit getting a game under their belt with the time zones and everything might be somewhat beneficial to them. But regardless, I told you I'm looking for Swedes on the ice, and we got a premier Swede on the Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, and I'm going to go over on his point props. I'm going to go over on his shots on goal, and I'm going to take his adjusted point prop. If his point prop is listed at 0.5, I'll take the 2 points. It's something that I almost never do. I never bet touchdown score, and I hardly ever bet goal score because it's too fluky. A guy can have a dominant game and have 4 assists. So I'm actually going to take William Nylander to score a goal. But put that down as the third. I want the points, the over on shots on goal, and I'll also take a goal as a, like, if you're trying to build your goal scorer parlays, I like Nylander, and I'm actually going to bring up another guy. Imagine that. I never give out goal scores, and you're going to get 2 of them today. But this game over there in Sweden, I always tell you, if you guys are looking to build your 4+ leg same game parlays, choose environments that are ruckus oriented, and these games in Sweden and these overseas games, they always tend to be crazy. You just saw a 4-0 lead get eradicated in one period last game. How often does that happen in Nashville in January? Never. But when they're selling the game, the refs are calling penalties, 5-on-3s, they want that score up. And I think these games are the types of opportunities where you can really put together some of those same game parlays. How about we get a crazy one? You ready? Over 6.5 goals. I also like that bet. Over 6. Any one of these overseas games, if you want to take an over, you're getting the thumbs up from me. But over 6.5. Somehow, with 4 goals scored, Dylan Larkin didn't find himself on the score sheet. I refuse to believe that's going to happen in back-to-back, ruckus games out there. So give me Dylan Larkin to register a point. Give me William Nylander to register a point. And then give me, yes, sorry, Stevie, the Toronto Maple Leafs to win. Or don't even include that. Just those 3. And then you can put that in at Caesars, and if you're a new user over there, that bet's going to be risk-free up to $1,000 because that's the promotion they got going on. New user at Caesars, risk-free bet up to $1,000. You just got to be over 21 and located in a state that has Caesars. But obviously, if you or anybody you know has a problem, make sure that you call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Somebody will be there to help you out. So yeah, that's the assortment that I like. That could be a full ruckus game. If you like other things, don't be scared. You can stay away from those guys. You can load up on Matthews, whatever you want. If there's a player in that game you like, as you saw yesterday, Comfer had a pair of points. Great opportunity to take random ass players for 2+ points. Just my opinion when it comes to those overseas games. Then we're gonna go over to Winnipeg. And they're playing a team that I stay away from because as soon as you think you know them, they screw you. It's like that girl. You don't like them, and then they finally start talking to you. You start talking to them, now they're no longer interested in you. You bet on them, they'll screw you. You think they get hot. They're all over the place. However, I'm going to take this calculated shot against them with Winnipeg because they lost Tage Thompson last game. They got handled in that game. And now going on the road, they're playing Winnipeg, who just played a very similar team in New Jersey, and they handled them on their home ice. I think that's a good warm-up to play a team like Buffalo. I don't see Buffalo coming back if they fall down 3-1 or something like that, especially if Hellebuck's in net. And Kyle Connor, he was on fire last game, and I think that will continue. There's another opportunity to use the Caesars promotion. I want the Jets to win and Kyle Connor to register a point. That's what I like in that game. I'm betting against the Sabres. Let's see if they can make me pay without Tage Thompson. Then in the last one, I'm going to give you another goal scorer, believe it or not. As of this moment, because I'm filming this while the games are live, I don't know how Florida did in that LA game, but I bet against them. I told you I don't bet on a team like that when they're playing the next night. I do have some rules with that. I'll explain on my longer show, Picking Corners, which you could find on YouTube, my YouTube, later tonight. Just click my name in the title of this video. It's in blue, and you can find that later tonight. But I have rules about back-to-backs and who I will bet on, won't bet on. The Ducks they're playing well enough. I'm not going to fall into the trap of taking Florida because we are getting them at a good price. But one thing that I have noticed, he's at a slow start to the year relative to what he did last year, especially in terms of goal scoring. But we're starting to see 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Give me over 1.5 points for Matthew Tkachuk. And give me a goal for Matthew Tkachuk. I hate taking goal scorers. And 2 hit me tonight. 2 naturally came up like I would actually take him to score a goal. And then later when looking at that, I go, I would actually take him to 2 in the same day, which is crazy because it really is hard to predict, kind of like touchdown scores. And that is what I got for you here on a Friday. Only a couple of games. Later on my show on my YouTube channel that I just mentioned, I'll talk about some of the weekend games and along with some of my NHL betting philosophies, along with random other things. So make sure you come over to my YouTube channel and check that out. Obviously, make sure you subscribe to the Odd Shopper channel here. Check out Francis and Friends. You know how it is. It's Francis Fridays around here. And hopefully you enjoy all that content. I will be back with you guys on Monday for another round of NHL sniffs. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.